Good evening. The news summary for this Thursday, 25th May. The Valabji couple, British lawyer James Lewis, has said their reason for the Chief Justice recusal in the case against the Valabjis and Viraf Udwadia has formally been charged for money laundering.
The 48-year-old businessman, who was arrested over a month ago for claims of laundering proceedings of drug trafficking, has been formally indicted today. Viraf Udwadia and suspected accomplice Rikael Mol have been charged with 82 different counts relating to money laundering. Two other persons, namely Muriel Albert, the second accused mother, and Timothée Morin, one of the first accused business partner, have also been charged, each with 2 counts within the 82. The first 2 accused will remain in police custody until the 30th, when Judge David Esparon will rule on whether the accused can be released on bail. The other 2 accused have been released on conditions that they hand over their passports and check in at respective police stations every week. The accused are to appear in court on the 30th of May. Whereas for the case, the Valabji couple, Mukesh and Laura, are seeking the recusal of Chief Justice Ronnie Govindan as the judge in the case against them, the Valabji's British lawyer James Lewis was appearing in court virtually. Lewis's claim is that Chief Justice Govindan's recusal should be on the basis of personal animosity, whereby the second appellant, Laura Valabji, was once good friend with Justice of Appeals Samia Ade, the Chief Justice's ex-wife. That at a point, there was a legal battle between Judge of Appeals Ade and Mrs. Valabji, and Chief Justice Govindan came to Justice Ade's defense. That Chief Justice Govindan has been at the Valabji's residence before, that all in all, there is high possibility of bias. The case is expected to be heard again on the 1st of June.
The government has expressed sadness following the recent death of a 3-year-old girl in tragic circumstances. It says it's concerned by the level of child abuse in the country. In his regular press briefing, Vice President Ahmed Afif said the government was committed to fighting the scourge.
The government's role is to ensure that the present situation does not get worse, but also, very importantly, to address the root causes of such happenings. And the root causes lies in the weakness in the social fabric of society. We have to take short-term and we have to take long-term measures. Short-term, I think we have to make sure that justice is served. Security is provided to those affected immediately. Justice is served, so whoever is guilty, then justice has to take its course, and we make sure that these people are not able to carry out such horrible things to children. Long term, I think we need to strengthen the family. If we didn't have such events happening too frequently in the past, it is most likely as a result of a strong family, strong protection for children, and a society that had very high values.
With regard to the proposed environmental tax charged to visitors, Vice President Afif says discussions on the issue are ongoing. The sticking point seems to be the amount that will be charged to visitors.
I think the concern centers around the levy itself and the value. Secondly, focuses around how it's to be collected. We don't believe that there is any other way of collection other than from the invoicing from the hotel. The hotels today, they collect the VAT and pass it on to the government every month. They pay income tax, they pay business tax from their activities and from wages. So we believe a levy can also be collected likewise just by one line on the invoice which says levy for bed nights spent by the person. So that's the easiest way to collect. There was a suggestion that it could be collected from Travaiserie. We don't believe that that's practical because Travaiserie only picks up one part of your stay in Seychelles and will not pick up. Most tourists don't stay in just one establishment when they come. They go in several other establishments, but this is not captured on Travaiserie. So it is best that it's collected from the establishments. The timing, the quantum of what the levy should be is something that's in discussion, but we believe strongly that there needs to be an amount that is collected, that we all agree on, because establishments and tourism, whilst they have huge benefits for the country, they also have huge costs for the country. And we are not always collecting all of that, particularly utilities, environmental waste, and sewerage, which is a huge part of the collection of the cost that finally ends up on the government.
A group of students from post-secondary institutions has followed a workshop on domestic violence. The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Family hosted this session with the aim of empowering the younger generation to be responsible citizens and in the preparation for their future household. The discussion was based on dating violence. The Minister for Youth, Sports and Family Affairs, Marie-Céline Diallo, says on the 25th of every month there will be a campaign on domestic violence. The Seychelles Defense Forces has started its local exercise to test the operational capacity of its various units. The 4-day exercise involves the theory and practical, and they'll be conducted in different locations. One of the officers involved, Lieutenant Colonel Achille Modo, says the exercise will also allow them to test the effectiveness of the communication systems in various parts of SPDF.
Kayak exercise for this year is a local exercise that the SDF is carrying out in order to test its operational readiness and its deployment capabilities, as well as interoperability between all major units of the SDF in order to see how our force reacts if there are any situations that we are tasked to deal with, and from the exercise take out lessons learned on how we can improve our efficacy. To kick off, we'll have a training phase, and then this will be followed by a deployment and exercise phase. Apart from the major units, we'll also be testing our command and control from top to bottom throughout the force.
Thank you very much. Managers from tourism establishments say they've observed an improvement in their staff who took part in the first supervisor training offered by the Seychelles Hospitality and Tourism Association, SHTA. The 3-day training sessions were held in February this year. It was to encourage personal growth in each participant, and which should eventually turn them into future managers. 2 managers we've spoken to say their establishments are already reaping the benefits. Michel Gigas is a deputy manager at Pure Restaurant and Bar, and Pierre Douglé is the manager of Les Villas d'Or.
The training itself, it's going to be to help the staff individually to be able to progress, to be able to go up the ladder to supervisory stage and perhaps even higher. And at the same time, it will benefit the whole team, in a sense that whatever 1 or 2 has learned, they're coming back to share it with the whole team, and therefore it will ensure that our service becomes better and we maintain a high level of service as well.
And you can have as much money as you want, but if you don't have the right people to manage the money, to manage the business, you're bound for failure. So when you have very good staff, trained staff, skilled staff, you're bound for success.
SHTA is holding a second training, and this time it is being held on Latig also. Both the Pure Restaurant and Bar and Les Villas d'Or have sent new staff for the training. SHTA's chairperson, Sibylle Cardon, says part of their mandate is to provide training on how to promote better services in the tourism industry.
So the mandate of SHTA is to take care of its member and see exactly what we need to be the link between the government and the different establishments, but also to develop the service, to develop the staff and see exactly how we can improve the service that we all give at the end of the day. So it's very important for me to have the different members getting back to us with their request of what exactly they need. We have an open door policy and we welcome any idea that they may have.
That's the end of this news summary. Join me at 8 for the news bulletin in Creole. Until then, have a pleasant evening.